Well, hey guys, here is another video on arpeggiators, and this time, you guessed it, we're going to be looking at the DeepMind 12's arpeggiator, which is right over here in this section in the corner. Now, in this particular video, I've got a setup where you'll see I'm using the two Boss pedals here. So the DeepMind audio is going out into the Boss MD500, which is my using the dimension chorus setting on there, and then that's in turn going out into the DD500, which is a digital delay, which is clock synced via MIDI from the output of the DeepMind, and then that's going into the audio out of this pedal is going into directly into the camera, these pedals, and I'm not going to be touching them. But there is one thing that I want to show you. So basically, if you go into the edit section of the arpeggiator and you press it a couple of times, you'll get to this menu called ARP settings. Now, if you just want the arpeggiator of the DeepMind to run on its own internal clock, which means that you'll be able to control the rate from here, it transmits the clock, and that way I can actually control the clock of the delay as well. So you'll see if I adjust the clock here, I will also adjust the clock on the delay. Let's set it to around about 110 BPM. That sounds pretty good. And you can see it's a little bit floaty. That's thinking that it's 110 point something, but it's 110. It's very, very fine adjustments. Like I'm just touching that there. Okay, so there's 110. Okay, so you turn the ARP on over here under the ARP section or sequencer. We're going to be using the arpeggiator. So you turn it on there, and say it was off, right? You turn it on there. Let's just turn that off a sec. By default, let's turn the edit off as well. By default, this is what it looks like. Turn it on, and basically in its default setting, it will basically just be on and no other settings there. And you have to hold a key down for it to work, like this. Right? But the cool thing about this one is you can use the tap to tap your tempo. In this case, we've got an internal tempo. We're going to set that to 110, as I said before. If you hold that button down for a little bit longer, it will actually hold your key, like that. And then we're going to press the edit button here to go into the menu. Right, let's just make sure we're not too loud on here. Right, back to the edit menu we go. Whee, zooming in. Okay, so before we go into this menu here, I just want to talk about what the arpeggiator's got in terms of features. It actually allows you to play a pattern based on the individual keys being held. So if you hold down a chord, it'll play a pattern. The pattern and note orders can be changed in this menu here, but also has a looping pattern editor which allows you to adjust the velocity and gates for each step. Now that's under here where you see at the bottom, you can see pattern, and we're going to go through that in a minute. So the arpeggiator has the following options from the top. You've got key sync. Now key sync is, what it does is key synchronization, and when it's turned on, the arpeggiator will start playing as soon as you strike the first note. When key sync is off, the arpeggiator will start playing using the master BPM, internal or external, and ARP clock after the division as its timing source. The default value is off. I'm leaving it off for now because I feel that tends to work better for me, but we can play around with it as we go. All right, the next thing we've got is Octave. Now that's obvious. So if you hold a key down, it's playing the note in 2 octaves. If we change it to 1, you'll just hear 1. The octave range is from 1 all the way up to 6, by the way. So you can do really high octaves. Okay. Mode is the order from which the notes are played. So the default is, wrong way, is up, then you've got down, up and down. Okay, so up inverse, the notes are played from the lowest to the highest. Down inverse. Then you've got up, down inverse, up alt. Now up alt, notes are played as lowest, then highest, then next lowest, then next highest, and so on. So it alternates. So probably let's do a 3-note chord. This might sound better. Yeah. That's pretty cool. And then we've got down. Now random is cool if you hold down, say, 4 notes. Let's do a G chord. Just plays all those notes in that chord randomly. And then you've got as played, and that's literally as you hold the keys down, the order that you play the notes. So if I go, or if I go, so basically when you do that, you hold down each note, then you hold down the next note, then keeping all the other previous notes held down as you go, and it will remember the order as you play. That's what as played is. And then chord is a cool one because you can actually play chords. Remembering that the DeepMind is a polysynth. Then we've got the hold function. Now you can use the hold function here, or you can actually hold it using that, holding that hold button down on the synth. So you can do it from here or on the actual button itself, and you know what that does. And then you've got the clock divider, and we go from quite slow, from 1/2 all the way up to that. Okay, there's your clock divider. Now we've got the rate, which we were talking about before, the swing, which is going to swing your beat. Now, the swing starts at 50 and goes all the way up to 75. Okay. If you want like a triplet sort of sounding swing, you can set it to 66 like this. And compare that to 50. Now if we do 2 notes, let's go to 66. So your full swing is 75. And a 50 will be right on the beat. This handy, that swing, I think. I like the way they've set that swing up. A lot of arpeggiators have too crazier swings, so I like that. It's a little bit more balanced. Now this is the big bit here. This is where this makes this arpeggiator really deep, is the pattern. So you've got 32 presets and 32 user. Okay, that is one heck of a lot of patterns. Now let's just go back to, that's actually set to none, so it's a normal ARP. But if we go to the first pattern, what you'll see now is this little light here blinking. And if we press yes on this, it'll take us to the pattern editor. Now what the pattern editor does is it has a looping pattern. It will go through these steps. So as you can see, there's 8 steps in this pattern across the top. And each step lets you set the velocity and the gate time. This one will let us adjust stuff. So velocity, adjusts the velocity up and down of each step, and you adjust the steps by moving this way, right? Now the gate is adjusted. You can also use the data slider. Okay, let's now adjust the velocity of each of these. Okay, and what else have we got? So we can adjust with the steps moving left to right with the control here, and you can either use the up and down to change the values, or you can use the data slider here to change the value. That's pretty easy. The last one is comp. Now comp it's a compare switch, which basically lets you compare the current state of the pattern being edited to the stored pattern. See that? So we compare, that's the stored pattern, and that's what we've edited. That's really very, very cool. And the last thing is, obviously when you're finished and you're happy with everything, you hit the right button here and it stores. So you just hit it and it will say, do you want to press yes or no? Literally there. Say no, it doesn't save any changes, but it doesn't leave. Okay, it loses everything that you've done. Anyway, that's the pattern editor. And as you can see in here, there is stacks. And you can see there's a heap of steps you can make in these. Heaps of steps. So you can get really, really crazy in this particular side of the arpeggiator. And this is just the arpeggiator. So as I was saying, this arpeggiator on the DeepMind is massive. It's really, really massive. So with all these different features, whether you've got octave, up, down, the notes order, the clock divider, the swing, and then you've got these gate and velocity patterns, and there's so many of them. And this would sound different on various different patches and how you've got your envelopes and everything set up too. Not only that, but we also have MIDI clock settings that we can adjust here as well. So you can have the arpeggiator respond to internal MIDI, USB, okay? So that's it, guys. That is the DeepMind 12's arpeggiator. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to leave a comment below. Don't forget to click the bell icon if you're subscribing too, because I'm going to be doing lots of these, and I hope you enjoy them anyway. So catch you later.